Hello everybody, my name is George and today we're gonna build the basic frame from copper wire and paper. This is the technique I use for basically all my sculptures and today I'm gonna share it with you. Here you can see the basic tools and materials for the first stage of frame building. As you can see, I'm measuring the wire length as the height of the sculpture. I'm using the existing sculpture and also bending it on the place where I have like extra 4 to 5 centimeters of material which is going to go into the pedestal as the foundation, and then bending the wire over and cutting with using the wire cutting tool. Here you can see that by eyesight I'm taking measurements where the legs are going to be coming apart of the torso and bending them, making the legs. It is not going to be very accurate as later on you can use paper and clay to fill it up. Here I am using duct tape to cover and fasten the wire together and basically just wrap it around it several times. Now I am using another part of wire to make the shoulders and hands. Just simple simple eyesight is like enough here to bend the one arm's length and then the shoulder length, and the same spot you are going to bend it again to make the second arm. And then as you are fastening it up, then you cut the second place where the wire is ending to make the symmetrical upper limbs foundation. Then you're going to need to bend the wire like Z, like this, which is going to help you move it inside the torso and fasten it again using duct tape from one side, and the same technique on the other side. It is not going to be fancy, but it is going to hold the whole figure quite well. And now it's time to use the paper for making our frame. You're gonna fold it depending on the limb you are going to cover. If you're going to cover the leg, you are gonna fold it like this, and if you're going on the arm, which is shorter, you're gonna fold it like that. I'm going to make the arm first, and I'm folding it on the shorter side, and this is going to help me make the filler material as well as make the arm more rigid. Here I'm using the duct tape to make the tube from the paper roll I made. Just cover it up, wrap it up with the duct tape. It's not meant to be like fancy and stuff. And after that, just pull it inside the wire, pull it inside the tube to cover the limb with the paper roll. You're gonna need to do it on all the 4 limbs. On the torso side, on the other hand, you're gonna need to fasten the already made paper tubes separately, not rolling it inside the wire as it is impossible here. You're just gonna use the duct tape to fasten it on the surface of the frame, on the torso side, on the shoulder side, and also on the abdominal chest side. Here you can see me making the fasteners, as I like to call them. I am using the copper wire again and making the straight about 7 to 10 centimeters of part, which is not it do not needs to be longer than that. Then you're going to bend the wire on the foundations on the 19 degrees and bend it several times to make the bottom part, which is going to be flat, and it is going inside the pedestal itself. It will dissipate the force caused by the fluctuations on the upper sculpture frame parts. Here you can see I'm also finishing it up and cutting the extra material. As you can see, it looks quite well, and you will need to make 4 of those things. Here you can see me making the pedestal itself. I'm going to cut the board in half. This is simple plastic board which is used to decorate the ceilings. I have left it from my last year's maintenance works, and you can find it in every kind of shop. I'm going to use the sharp edges of this frame and go into the first layer and adjust and add the fasteners from the bottom up, and make sure that the fasteners go through the first layer and then through the tube on the frame, which is very important. It's going to make that rigid foundation for your frame. After you manage this, it is a very tricky part, to be honest. After you have done this, take the bottom part and fasten it together. As you can see, it is wobbling quite a bit, and I used some extra paper to make the balance points, and then fasten it together using again the duct tape. To be honest, duct tape is your very good friend. Use the duct tape to cover all the sides, all the 4 sides, and make the pedestal the one inseparable part of the frame. So here is the finished product. As you can see, you can add the extra paper for fuller materials and also bend the limbs, upper limbs of course, to make the desired shape for the sculpture. As you can see, the frame is quite rigid and solid, and it's going to work quite well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content and learned something today. If so, please go down and like the video. Also, if you're new here, consider subscribing for new weekly videos coming up. You can see the existing sculpture videos on the screen, and that's it. Thanks and bye.